Hey guys, I'm doing a midweek check-in on my program. It started on Monday. He originally, I didn't have this much info when I made my first video, but he bumped my calories up to 1650 because I've been eating around 1500. He said we're going to start adding a little bit more back at a time. That way, you don't, just like when you reverse diet, you don't want to automatically start eating like a ton more. So he bumped up my calories to 1650 and my protein to 160, 165, and leave my carbs and my fats and everything alone. Because basically what he did was I tracked for a few days with MyFitnessPal, which I'm used to using that very tastic app for 3 or 4 years now. So getting used to using MyFitnessPal again, it's changed a lot in like 4 years. And the stuff that I can do on the other app that MyFitnessPal wants to charge you for, I can't copy and paste what I ate yesterday is what I ate today, because a lot of times that's how my weeks are at work. I'll have the same stuff several days during the week for like breakfast and lunch. But anyway, he bumped my calories up, bumped my protein up, and he said, he asked me how often I weigh myself, and I said sometimes every day, sometimes every few days, sometimes once a week. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. And he said, well, let's not do it every day. But I did check myself yesterday, and I started out at 219. I already started adjusting my calories and everything on Friday. And between Friday and Tuesday, I'd gone from 219 to 216 already, which was kind of crazy. Just a few days, how much can change. But I know stuff changes. But the way mine fluctuates, when I fluctuate in weight from day to day, it's usually only a pound or so. And then I started my workouts. I had workouts Monday night and last night, and then today is like a rest day. He did lower my steps because I told him I get 8,000 to 10,000 steps in a day, and then I was going to the gym on top of that. And so basically I have my steps cut down a little bit to 6,000 to 8,000. He said try not to get more than 8,000, because basically the whole thing behind this is I was eating too little and doing too much. So that's why, kind of like a starvation mode type thing, my body wasn't really doing anything for the last 8 months. So basically my first workout involved a lot of stretches and everything. This week it's mostly working on my core, because my core muscles, my core is weak as F. I mean, like, I had 2 C-sections when I was younger, and if you've had C-sections, you know what it's like with muscles down there. So he had me doing a lot of floor stuff. That's basically all I've been doing. I did a couple things with kettlebells, some stuff with a like a stretchy workout band. A lot of that stuff I already had at home. So all my workouts this week are at home. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see some of the stuff I'm posting about working out at home. But it may be working out at home for a little while. As of right now, this week, it looks like it's all core stuff. The stuff last night, I was on the floor, like laying on my stomach, sticking my arms and legs up in the air behind me, and it was like, whoa, kind of just basically on, the trunk of your body, like my chest and my stomach, raising everything up behind me. And I'm like, dang, that's crazy. That was probably the hardest move that I had to do. So some of the little things I'm doing are a little bit difficult. The floor stuff I absolutely can't stand, because with my sciatica, trying to rotate and move around from the floor disturbs it a little bit. It kind of hurts a little bit. Doing the moves themselves, some of them, maybe I can feel it a tiny bit, but it's not like, oh God, it hurts, I can't do that move, So basically at the end of the workout, because I can go onto the app and I start my workout and I log how many reps I do, if I add weights and stuff like that. And at the end of the workout, it'll ask you on this scale, I think it's like a 1 to 10 scale, how hard it was. There's like really easy, moderate, all the way to like super hard. And pretty much the hardest thing I've put in was like moderate, which is like a 5 out of 10. I don't feel like anything was super hard. It's just the stuff on the floor is like, my sciatica rotating around and stuff. is crazy. And my mat that I have, my little yoga mat, is probably like a quarter of an inch thick. So I've got to go get a thicker yoga mat. Yoga mat. I was looking online today. I can either get one on Amazon, which lately, unless you've got Prime, which I don't pay for Prime, it takes a week to get anything from Amazon anymore, most of the time. And they're actually supposed to open a new Amazon here in Knoxville pretty soon. So that might help with that stuff. And then I looked online, and then locally, between everything around me that has stuff in stock, I found a 1/2 inch thick one at Target. I think it was like $28. So I figured whatever I get, I'm just going to stick it on top of my other one. It just gives me more cushion. So that'll help a little bit with the hard floor, because we don't have carpet. So that does help a little bit to have some cushion under you. A lot of the stretches and stuff I've been doing for the last couple months with my sciatica, I feel like I've already been working on some of those things, and some of the stretches he gave me are stuff that I've already been doing with that. So that helps. I'm off tonight, and then the next 2 days, the workout for tomorrow I think is a little bit different with some extra like weight stuff for my arms. And then Fridays I think is the same as yesterday with a lot of the stretching and then the floor stuff. So this first week is core. He's working on my mobility between my hips and my knees and my ankles, and trying to make sure I'm building up my core and using those muscles properly for when I start using free weights. I'll be doing it right and not hurting myself. So it's great. I'm glad, you know. And then the more and more I looked into it, the more I saw that technically it's correct to say that those machines I've been using have their place. But after using them for a minimum of 6 months, most people need to move on if you really want to start seeing more results to free weights. And so that's what's going to happen. I don't know how long I'll be doing this floor stuff, this core workout stuff, since my program with him is for 8 weeks. I don't want to only be this core stuff, because I want to get back at the gym and start lifting and doing what I want to do, you know. But I know I have to build this first, because I definitely don't want to be getting hurt. Sometimes, as far as the food goes, even though I've only bumped everything up like 100 calories or 150 calories, and I bumped the protein, I can't talk today, bump the protein up a little bit. I feel like some days it's hard to eat enough, like especially trying to get that protein in. So I've been going back to looking at when I was doing a lot of the high protein, low carb, keto. I was looking at stuff that I was eating then, because even just eating all the meat, like I eat something on my nose and it was driving me nuts. I eat like chicken sausage or turkey sausage because there's more protein and less fat. And then at lunchtime I've either got like tuna or chicken like in a can, or like the good kind of deli meat that doesn't have a bunch of crap in it for like turkey. So I eat really well when it comes to like my meats for proteins, but then I still end up having like a Quest shake. I've got my Atkins bars that I'll have one once in a while if I want something sweet, but I have a shake almost every day, because it's really hard for me to eat 8 to 10 ounces of meat every time I eat. It's kind of like carnivore, you know. I don't know how people can eat like the one meal a day and eat so much at one time. I'm sorry, I'm trying to hold my phone in my hand and it's going to have a cramp in it when I get done. But this is just a midweek check-in for my first week. I figure I'll start out the video with this, and then this weekend, after the end of the first week, I'll finish with how things went. Because I know in the beginning I was like, oh God, I'm scared. I don't know how he's going to do the food, because it was like the one thing I didn't ask him until Friday. I was like, hey, or Thursday, I was like, how's the food thing gonna work? Because, and by the way, I go to the grocery store on Saturdays, you know, because that's the day me and my husband, you know, can go. It's the only day we have off together and we can go, and I don't like going by myself anyway. So, he was like, oh, I'll talk to you about that on Friday. So I was like, okay. So he called me real quick Friday, And he said, basically, we're going to up your calories to this, up your protein to this, keep doing what you're doing. You know, he's seen what I track on how I eat and everything. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just up your calories to this, up your protein to this, change your requirements on your app settings on what you need to be eating and everything. And he's like, and your workouts will be there by Saturday. And then if you have any questions or whatever, you can let me know. And I'm like, all right, cool. And it's really cool because he's been posting some stuff in his in my Facebook group for the other people, the members, clients, whatever, the squad. So some of the videos are great because he talks about, like, with your knees and stuff, like if you don't have constant knee pain, you probably just, you know, have an issue with not using them and not building up your muscles and using them correctly. And that's part of the core thing too. So I'm learning a lot by some of the videos that he's posting in there too. So anyway, I am extending this video out longer than I planned, and I'll see you this weekend. Hey guys, I'm back to do my check-in. So I did my first update with him. We talked on Friday last week and went over everything that I had been doing for the week. He made sure that I was comfortable doing what I was doing and everything was going well. And basically just kind of like a little check-in, a little pep talk. Everything's great. And then Monday I sent in my weekly check-in, which he sends me a sheet and I fill out, you know, the answers to the questions that he has about, you know, how I'm feeling, if I'm having difficulty with anything, if I need help with anything, and all that stuff. And I send in my waist measurement and my weight. And then he basically makes a video and sends me the link to the video addressing the whole thing, going over it and making sure that he covers everything. And basically what he did was, since the first week he had me at 1,650 to 1,700 calories, and he said, I want you to at least eat 1,650 calories and have 165 to 170 protein. So a minimum of like 160, 165 protein. So I did all that. I did meal prep on Sunday for this week and made my own egg bites because it's cheaper and I can put more protein in them. I made my little pre-made waffles, which are more like my sweet treat because I can just put a little bit of peanut butter on them. You don't need syrup or anything. It's like my sweet treat for the day. I made taco chicken for my lunches. And if you follow my Instagram, you'll see that I posted a lot of my meal prep stuff from Sunday. So we did the official check-in. He went over everything. He did the video back and he said, okay, so this is where we're at. We're basically doing a slow reverse diet, which I already knew this was the process. So he's doing a reverse diet. And this week he said, we're going to bump you up to 1,750 to 1,800. And you need to get a minimum of 170 grams of protein in per day. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. And my exercises that he has planned, my workouts for this week, are a little bit more than last week, which is finally bumping me up to doing like more and more like arm stuff and things that I really want to be doing. The stuff rolling around on the floor, it's great. You know, I love the fact that he's trying to help make sure that I have good mobility and I can do the core stuff that I need to be doing when I start doing free weights, and it's doing great. Some of it's a little bit frustrating, a little bit tough, but I mean, I can do it. It's just, I'd rather be lifting weights than rolling around on the floor doing some of the crap that I've been doing. So he bumped everything up for this week. And I really basically don't have a need to go to the gym at this moment because everything that I have that I've been doing for my workouts, I've been able to do at home because I've got some kettlebells and weights and resistance bands and different things that I need at home. So he didn't adjust anything for my steps. He kept my steps lower because he said, you know, I was basically I was doing too much and not eating enough. So my steps, he still wants me to keep between 6,000 and 8,000 a day. And my normal workout stuff that he's got planned for me, my mobility stuff that he's got planned for me. And so I'm thinking next week he'll probably bump it up again calorie wise. But as soon as he bumped it up the other day, I went down another pound last night. So I've lost 3 pounds and a half an inch off of my waist. So that's not bad for, you know, a week, which technically I went from 219 to 216 before the middle of the week last week, but I was only at 216 like one night, and then I went back to 217. So basically I lost 2 pounds, and I've been at 217 up until this morning, and I did 216. So I did my progress videos, all my measurements, my progress pictures, all my measurements, and my weight, and I sent all that in this morning onto the app. So so far so good. I don't have an issue with it being a slower progress, because I understand when I was 300 pounds and I did what I did with keto and low carb, you know, it was a drastic change. And when you're already really big and you're doing bad things and you change everything, it just falls off, and it falls off super fast. I was losing 10 pounds a month for 10 months, you know? So basically at this point, I'm looking at 1 pound to 2 a week, which is great. That's fine. That's normal. That's healthy. That's sustainable. And, you know, by the time I get done with this program, I really hope that I'll be eating where I need to be eating and being able to do the types of workouts that I really want to be doing to build muscle. So as of right now, I have good things to say. He's great. The group that we have, the private Facebook group for us, is great. All the people that are in there, his clients and stuff, are awesome. We help support each other. He does lives all the time, and so far I'm enjoying the process. So I've got to figure out what I want to eat next week. I've got to plan that so I can do a little bit more meal prep again. But just wanted to update you guys and let you know how it's doing. So far so good. 3 pounds down, 1/2 inch off my waist. Haven't had any cheat meals or, you know, planned, off plan. You know, I still have my Starbucks, which is, you know, there's nothing in my Starbucks. I put my sweetener in there myself, and there's half and half in it. The only other thing that I could possibly do at some point is maybe cut out the dairy, which I know a lot of people seem to do better once they cut out dairy, but I'm not having any issues. I'm not having any problems, and I'm still, you know, going down on the scale and everything. So we'll see what happens at next week, and see what he decides to do with my calories and everything. It is a little bit harder to eat more when you've been eating so little for so long. I have to make sure I get all my protein in and pre-plan, and, you know, definitely keep tracking everything, which, you know, he sees everything that I track anyway, which that's the main thing that I would say I recommend for sure for anybody who's doing this, especially when I was in the beginning and tracking everything. If I didn't track everything, it would have been crazy. But it's definitely helpful, because it's really easy to eat too much or not enough when you're not tracking. And I'm gone back to measuring and weighing everything with my food scale and all that stuff, so I am getting exact ounces and stuff down of what I've ate and logging things correctly, not just guesstimating, oh, I had like, maybe it was like 4 ounces, and then when you put 4 ounces, what you think is 4 ounces on the scale, you're like, oh, that's like 6 ounces, or oh, that's only 3, you know. So definitely use your food scales and track everything if you're really trying to make some changes, and you've been stuck for a little while. Try that if you haven't. A lot of times just guesstimating things, you don't realize how bad you can be off on a guesstimate. But anyway, that's my first check-in after my first week, and I will let you guys know what happens in week 2.